Berlin doesn't seduce you. It ambushes you with details. A golden cat vanishing into a diptyque window. A tram rattling past Hackischer Markt. The Reichstag's glass dome staring back at you like it knows something you don't. This city doesn't shout. It just keeps layering itself. Eccentric, observant, waiting for you to catch up. Berlin treats photography like a contact sport. At Fotografiska, Shepard Fairey's Obama Hope poster greets you like an old friend who's seen better days. Helga Paris, meanwhile, captures East Germany with the kind of unflinching gaze that makes you feel like you're trespassing. At CO Berlin, the exhibitions felt just as sharp and carefully curated. Another reminder that the city takes photography seriously. Then Helmut Newton at the Kunstbibliothek. Life-size glass cases displaying his actual outfits. Black suits, yellow socks, white trainers. One wonders if he dressed like that just to make everyone else feel underdressed. It's fashion as provocation, and Berlin eats it up. But we couldn't resist the counterpoint, the serial killer exhibition. Bloodied handprints on mirrors. Hannibal Lecter staring you down. And enough police mugshot measurements to make you feel like you're being sized up for a lineup. Perfectly reasonable Saturday entertainment. Naturally. From gallery elegance to true crime in one afternoon. Berlin doesn't just serve culture, it serves it with a twist. And somehow both feel equally essential to understanding what the city actually is. Berlin doesn't just feed you, it keeps changing the accent of the meal. We started with coffee and cake outside, then moved through Lebanese dinner, oysters and cremant, and finished with ramen, dim sum and mochi, which is, frankly, a respectable amount of international behavior for 4 days. What we like about Berlin is that it never feels like one cuisine is trying to win. It just lets everything sit side by side and somehow makes sense of it. A quiet cafe in the afternoon, a Lebanese table at night, oysters at KaDeWe, then Japanese noodles and dumplings after that. All of it feels completely normal here, which is either a sign of excellent planning or a city with very little interest in being ordinary. And that, to us, is part of the charm. Berlin can be serious about art and politics, but it's equally serious about dinner. And then came the cocktails. 6 different colors on a black table, looking like a chemistry experiment gone right. We weren't sure if we were supposed to drink them or to photograph them for a museum. In Berlin, probably both. Potsdamer Platz looks like Berlin trying very hard to be futuristic. We crossed it under perfect blue skies. Tiny Mauerreste at Potsdamer Platz, sitting there quietly between glass towers like concrete post-its, reminding everyone that history doesn't just disappear. The Brandenburg Gate appeared next, looking exactly as important as you remember it from your history textbooks. We stood there in sunglasses, probably looking like we were waiting for a Cold War spy to show up with a microfilm. And then the Reichstag. You need to book weeks ahead, which feels like applying for a visa, just to see a glass dome. But once you're up there, walking that spiral ramp with Berlin spread out below, it's genuinely rather good. The Chancellor's office looks surprisingly ordinary from above. Almost disappointing, really. Down by the Spree, meanwhile, geese were having a better time than anyone in the government. They just floated around, completely unbothered by history or architecture. Smartest creatures in Berlin, clearly. We ended with more currywurst because apparently that's now contractually required. Berlin balances its heavy moments with these perfectly ordinary ones, and somehow both feel essential. Friedrichstadt-Palast glowed like proper theatre from outside. Inside, the eternal rule applied: no filming. which is standard for any show worth seeing. Wunderkammer was a modern ballet genius, or art that took a wrong turn. Dancers flying, lights arguing, music rebelling. No phones to hide behind, just you and whatever the last movement. No cameras needed, Berlin burned every moment into memory anyway, rather the point of live performance. Out in evening light, even the U-Bahn advertised Helga Paris. "4 days in Berlin leave you with more questions than answers. Not a neat checklist, but a series of moments that don't quite fit together and shouldn't have to." We choked on currywurst, waited at endless traffic lights, watched geese outsmart politicians by the Spree. The glass dome gave us Berlin from above, Wunderkammer gave us Berlin from within. It's a city that doesn't demand you understand it, just that you keep looking. A mosaic you'll never finish. Which is exactly why we'll be back. If cities like this pull you in too, hit subscribe, more mosaics to come.